So we just got off the Carnival Jubilee. We had an amazing crew. We had an amazing cruise. So this video is all about our review of that cruise.
The
Let,
Jubilee.
the Jubilee. Let's get into it.
Monkey love, oh monkey love, travel. Pack your bags, let's hit the gravel.
Welcome to Monkey Love Travel. My name is Jason.
I'm Becca.
Thank you for tuning in. So what we're going to do today, we are just going to run down, how we typically do all of our reviews. We're going to start with, the ship, the state of the ship, the vibe of the ship, just what we liked, what we didn't like. Then we're going to move on to, the staff and the service. Then we're going to move on to the entertainment, then the food, and then ultimately, what we feel is the bang for your buck type deal, and would we do it again? But also, make sure you tune in, stick around towards the end of this video because we have a channel announcement, so to speak, that you really might be interested in hearing. So make sure you hit that like, subscribe, hit the alarm bell, and again, be sure to stick around to the end. All right, so let's just jump straight into it. Let's talk about the ship. What did you like and dislike about the ship itself?
I very much liked the vibe. It was very clean. Not clean as in sterile, but just very big spaces. Not overly dark colors, or everything was just very what you kind of think
light
of.
and bright.
Yes, light. Yeah, what you think of when you think of cruising generally.
I very much got the the fun vibe. Drawing you in, experience the ship.
Yeah, that's true. Of the spaces.
Yeah,
and-
especially the main spaces. I mean, I was very skeptical about that center area, the Grand Central, it being feeling too crowded. But even when it was crowded, it didn't feel, overly crowded.
No, it
You
really
still
didn't.
could get around on the ship. Even when there was different crowds throughout the ship, you still felt like there were plenty of areas to escape that crowd and, just kind of enjoy
Right.
your peace and quiet if you wanted to,
And
or
it
go
wasn't
seek other fun.
right, and it wasn't hard to maneuver around. My hesitation was kind of how it affected the ship design, and was it going to feel like if you wanted to move from before it to after it, you were having to kind of move between mobs of people, and it never felt like that. There was always a clear way just to walk around
Right,
on
yep.
any level.
So for me, I absolutely loved this ship. We did not get to experience everything on the ship. There is so much to do, so much to see, so much to eat, so much to it's a lot, and we
It
would
is,
get there.
yeah.
But again, loved the ship, loved the feel of it. It was beautiful. It has that their theme is like under the water, on top of the water. So the ship flows like a current, or like the waves through the ocean, so to speak.
Well, and the levels, whether you're
Yep.
above the water, at the water, below the water.
Yeah,
So,
it's very cool. They did
Yeah.
a great job
Yeah.
with designing in the ship, so I was rather
without it
impressed.
feeling busy and like you're completely surrounded at all times by whatever vibe, which is what I get frustrated with certain ships and smaller ships, where sometimes you feel like you're constantly from one vibe to another and it's all around you and overwhelming. This was just a lot simpler than that, but still all of that experience, all
It
of
was
that ability to feel like you were completely immersed
it was easy to
without
navigate.
having to feel that way. Yeah.
Well, fairly easy to navigate once you got to your bearings. Maybe day 2 or 3, I thought. Then I thought we had it down pretty well.
You did. And after the last one, I just let you do it. Because the last one being in the aft really confused me. Or not the aft, the wake room really
Oh, the wake, yeah.
confused me. So.
Now, real quick, before we move on to staff and service, let's talk about our cabin.
Yeah.
So we stayed in one of the spa cabins, interior spa cabin, and it was on deck 17, cabin 238, if I remember correctly.
Now you remember.
Now I remember, right? I couldn't remember it on the
Okay.
ship. It was always, yeah.
Well, you just inverted the numbers, but yeah.
I do that all the time.
Okay.
Must be have some form of dyslexia.
No,
I don't know.
that's not what that means. You're just getting old. That's okay. Go ahead.
But okay, so it was an interior cabin. The cabin is small, but it was very nice.
Oh
I
yeah.
My biggest complaint, maybe, or not really complaint, but I wish it had some sort of chair other than the bed and that
Yeah.
little hassock that was also a
Yeah.
tray table. I wish it had a chair in it. Uh,
Wait, that was a tray table?
yeah, if you turned it over, it was a tray
How
table.
did I not know that? Okay, I would have been using that feature, but okay.
I thought I showed you.
I was a
But
little late to this party, apparently. Go ahead.
but we had robes, all that stuff, and we've had full access to the thermal suites, which we sadly only did once, but we enjoyed all of it in one day.
Yeah.
So loved it. If you like spa, I recommend you try it.
Mhm.
We do have a cabin tour coming out, so you'll see that on the channel very soon. But did you have any?
My biggest complaint with the room, and that's just because of me, is this your bedsides are pretty narrow. I want to
Oh yeah,
say
close to
even
the wall.
compared to the Vision, which was the tightest we've been on prior to, it still wasn't that tight. And on my particular side, they had also decided, not on the other side, but on this side, to put up maybe a
Oh, the picture.
2.5, 3 inch thick framed, what almost looked like a bulletin board. It was pretty. I mean, it was fine, but I talk with my hands. I'm always moving this way, and I cannot tell you. I mean, I literally have still a scab on my elbow from how many times I wrapped my, and that's because I'm a dummy, but wrapped my elbow on this thing. So I wish I could have taken it off the wall. Maybe I could have. I didn't think to ask, but that was really my big. And the shower did not get as hot as I would
Oh
like.
yeah.
For the first time we were on a cruise where I didn't worry that people could be scalded. This one almost didn't even get
The
warm
sink hot water got really
enough.
hot.
Really fast.
Yeah,
Again.
but not the shower.
At the same time I say that, we never mentioned it to anyone. We just
Yeah.
kind of noted it. It got warm. It just wasn't what we were accustomed to. We certainly couldn't have gotten wrinkles out of our clothes with it.
Yeah.
But we also never said anything. So
No. I mean, it's not a make or break, but
yeah.
it's just something to keep.
Well, for some
to keep
people
in
it might
mind.
be, but they probably would have
That's
said
true.
something, and maybe they would have changed something. I don't
Yep.
know.
All right, let's move on to staff and service. So for me, I didn't have a single issue with any staff. I thought all of our service was above and beyond
Mhm.
by every single staff member we encountered.
Mhm.
Jesse, our cabin steward, another amazing person. He took great care of us. Always remembered our names. Everywhere we went, they remembered
Yeah.
your name.
Yep.
I don't know how you can do it, but I certainly appreciate it.
Mhm. And your name attached to your face. It's not like when you're coming out of your room they remember your name. They can see you in another part of the ship and remember your name, which is without actually looking at a phone. I could do that if I had a cheat sheet, but so yeah, that's always really
Even the security guy, which we'll get to at the end,
Not-
remembered us.
Yeah, I didn't want that, but okay.
So, I mean, I know that's a short, sweet answer to staff and service, but
Well, yeah.
we
There were
have
no complaints.
no
at all.
complaints. It was
Mhm.
fantastic everywhere we went.
Yeah.
Even in, you actually, to make quick note of it, I don't remember his name, but maybe you do. There was an attendant in the casino.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He wasn't, wait staff or anything, but he was coming up behind everybody, cleaning up
Yep.
after them, wiped down the games, and
incredibly considerate of everybody playing, and he was just, and I reached to pick up something I saw sitting behind a curtain that I knew he probably didn't see, and you would have thought I had done something amazing. He was just, oh, thank you. I mean, and I was just
Yeah.
so impressed with how gracious they were as they're doing all the icky stuff, and they're not
Yep.
getting tipped or anything.
So you made sure when
I
we were
did.
when we were
The man probably
disembarking.
thought I was a stalker.
I mean, it wasn't much. It was kind of all we had on us, at the time. But
Yeah.
made a point to go over and give him a tip, which I appreciated about you. So thank you for thinking, past what I would normally do. So always take care of your staff. They work hard for it. So, all right, entertainment. I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one because I think you.
Actually, how about you take the lead because your memory is going to be better about.
Well, Forgive me,
the
I'm not going to remember the names
names.
of the shows.
Oh, you won't?
I'm
Okay, that's
not.
where I'm
I mean,
struggling
I
for some
struggle to
reason.
remember names of shows, but they were
Oh,
fantastic. I was surprised.
yeah.
I didn't know what to expect going into it. And matter of fact, we did not see a single show in the theater.
No, we didn't.
All the shows we
Which,
watched were at
yeah,
Grand Central.
yeah.
My recommendation is watch the shows at Grand Central, but get there early enough to get a seat.
Yeah.
The way it's laid out, if you are stuck getting a seat all the way upstairs, so Grand Central takes up decks 4, 5, and 6. Um, if you are upstairs on 6, now they do have seating, but if you're sitting in the back, you're going to miss what's happening down on the floor. So, recommendation: get there early, get a good seat, and I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed with what they got. Excuse me, what they have going on. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say though, because I tend to enjoy all shows. I don't think we've had a show yet that I haven't enjoyed. I'm gonna say that with a caveat of we had two daughters who did a lot of performing arts type things, one who definitely did musical theater, and some were great and you were so proud, and others you were just so glad your child was participating in something, and it was kind of that feel.
Right.
I'm not going to say that everything, even on this ship, I feel like we could kind of tell that there was an A cast and maybe I hate saying it
Supporting
that way.
cast.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they weren't always both in the same show. So one show might be good, but you could,
And the other one might be
but the other one
great.
would be like
Yeah.
mind blowing. So, and it kind of altered, and they were also casted together. I don't want to make it sound like
The one where was it the White Hot Night?
I think so. The
Same
one
evening.
with all the white.
The Celestial Strings group
Celestials, yeah,
were
they
playing.
were amazing.
But I want to say it's We Are One.
No, that was the last one.
That was the last one?
Yeah. No, that was
Okay.
It's gonna drive me crazy.
Well,
but
it was a
Enchantment,
representation.
Something enchantment.
Yeah.
On the stage. I don't think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
what I'll do
remember.
is I'll
I'm
make
blurring
sure
so
I put the names, in the video.
Yeah.
I'll put when we're done here, just so you guys have the names of the shows. I apologize. My brain just doesn't
Yeah.
hold on to that information for some reason.
Mhm.
But they were
Yeah,
fantastic.
they really were.
The We Are One. I think that's a correct title. It's what it is. It's kind of
that
their
was very
representation of all across the world.
Yeah.
Bringing their staff and
Mhm.
one of the first ones was the parade, right? It was the Brazil, a celebration.
I think that was the second one we went to, I think. But yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that was great. And again, kind of the opening crew was great. Don't get me wrong. They're stronger voices, I guess, and dancing really is
Yeah.
what it was. They had fantastic stage presence and all of that. And then the group that came in with the dancers and the parade, and the singers that came on stage and the dancers for that were truly phenomenal. I
They
mean,
were.
these are top level performers. So.
Now I do know. Now we didn't see any of the comedy shows.
No.
We tend to be more of the performing arts type.
When we're on a cruise ship,
When we're
because
on a
we
cruise
watch
ship.
so much comedy
At home.
So.
But I can say every night there was a line to get into the shows. So
Yeah, that's
they
true.
must be doing something correct if
and there's a lot of them.
And there's a lot of performances
so you have lots
by
of
comedians.
opportunity, and there's still lines for
Yeah.
every one of them. So.
We also saw what Jams with Jaden, I think is his channel name. He's a performer on
Mhm.
Carnival Jubilee. We saw him at the Golden Mermaid. He's very good.
He's funny.
Country rock, western type music. But he does a great job at drawing in
It's
the
his
audience.
and his humor.
Young man did a phenomenal
Yeah.
job. What I'll do is I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below to help him out a little bit. So you want to talk food?
I don't know if I'm ready to talk.
We're going to
food.
put on
It's been a
10
week.
pounds just talking about the food again. Okay.
Like we took it off, so that's like 20 pounds now.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah.
All right. So we've been on what I would say a good many cruises at this point. I have to say this is a foodie cruise. There is so much food that is included. Now, I don't know if that's just because the Jubilee is still technically in its inaugural year, and they allow one dining at Shebang included, and then one dining at Cucina del Capitano included. You get one dinner at
Well,
each.
right.
The next, if you would like to go again, they're $8 a person.
Which is nothing for what you're getting.
But
oh my gosh.
for what they're but what they're giving you is it's $8 is cheap
Yeah.
for what you get. Because you get your appetizer, your entree, and a dessert.
And
still.
honestly, unless you've done the ship multiple times and you're getting to the things you hadn't gotten to, I don't even think you would need to, unless you want to, which you might, even exhaust a paid option. Because there are so many places on the ship that are included, and then with the paid options that you can also do
Right.
complimentary, and then the other, upscale or upcharged options. I don't think you'd ever have a need,
Yeah. I mean, you got, if you're into burgers, Guy's Burgers is good. I believe it's the second best burger at sea. And if you want to know why, you're going to have to check out another video for that one. But we also did Guy's Pig and Anchor for the first time. The meat,
really good.
The meat was very good. The collard greens was very good. The potato salad was very good. Sorry, Guy, but the mac and cheese.
That cannot be your mac and cheese.
That cannot be.
Came out of a box with a little bit of stuff added.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am spoiled to death because my wife makes the best mac and cheese ever. There's just so many options. Breakfast at the buffet for me is just it is what it is. It's buffet cruise food. There were a few things at breakfast that were good. I did enjoy
Shaq's breakfast was good.
Oh yeah, Shaq's breakfast was good. You can actually get a 3-cheese omelet made to order there.
They're not necessarily prepared to do that because apparently they don't want to do it very often.
Well, I guess because they're not getting a lot of requests because it was empty every time we went up there.
Yeah.
That one morning we decided we were going to check it out. I got the chicken and biscuit, and you got the 3-cheese omelet.
Well, a lot of people came up in the meanwhile to get chicken and biscuit, or just chicken or biscuits, or some combination. But I don't get the impression, maybe because there's also made-to-order omelets happening right behind it in the the marketplace.
Yeah.
Maybe nobody is going to go to Shaq's Chicken instead of there and order it. But I did because he wanted to go to Shaq's Chicken. I didn't feel like chicken and biscuits, and it has Swiss cheese, which for me is a plus. Yep. It was fantastic.
And we made our own little table out there on the patio, sat next to the glass barrier that right there at the railing, and just the water that morning was so still, so beautiful. It was the best morning.
Yeah, it really was. Yep.
And in the Lido Marketplace, I think they probably had some of the best seating.
That was actually one of my favorite things about this ship.
The Lido Marketplace is laid out beautifully.
Yes, and the seating and just how it flows.
Yeah.
And it's the first ship, and I'm sorry, that was very loud. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but the first ship I've been on where they had the sense to set up the coffee station separate from the coffee and not lapping with the juice drinkers. And it was actually very good for that.
So good job, Jubilee.
Yes. And plenty of seating.
I mean, again, so much food is included. It'd be hard to go over it all in one video.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just do a video all about food at one point. Yeah. But again, there were some things that were misses. I enjoyed the C-Day brunch. That was very good, I thought. All of that is made to order. And again, it's included on C-Days.
Wait, was that where I got the chicken and waffles?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever had chicken and waffles.
And you loved it.
I loved it.
Yep.
To the point where I don't know that I want to get it anywhere else because I'm afraid I'll be disappointed. So.
All right, so babe, the bang for your buck. What do you think? I mean, I know
better to speak on.
We booked this under a casino comp. So for us, the bang,
especially getting
truly
upgraded,
outweighed the buck.
Yeah. Especially having gotten upgraded or traded up or whatever, you exchanged, whatever.
For the interior spa room?
Yeah. And I'm still not 1,000% in love with the interior concept.
Right.
For me.
Yeah, you do love sitting on a balcony.
I really, really do. And I know that's where we're different as a couple. That's not, I don't think, you enjoy it, but I don't think it's a make or break for you because you don't. We're not ones to sit out there for long at night.
Right.
You're not one who really is keen on sitting out in the sun, just,
Yeah.
So, but for me, just to be able to sit out there and read, and even if it's a tiny balcony, I kind of love. So, but it was still good as an interior room. So.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I don't know if I said this earlier or not, but it didn't feel cheap. I feel like.
Oh. Was it supposed to feel cheap?
No, I
Oh.
just mean some people give the connotation that Carnival is, more of your.
I don't think that's what they're saying is cheap, but okay.
Yeah, but
And I don't agree with them. I'm just saying.
I felt everything was, it wasn't Michelin star
no,
or any
but
of that.
in
but
all truth,
I feel like
yeah.
for what we pay and what, the average customer would pay, it is definitely more bang for your buck.
And we can get into another time, but we've now been on to similar class and whatever you want to say, itinerary port experiences for a large and a smaller Royal Caribbean ship and Carnival. And while I understand the differences and why people prefer one over the other, I can honestly say there are plenty of things about both that appeal to us that I couldn't see, like saying I'm only going to do one or the other.
Yeah, I agree.
There's just two. They are different, but I appreciate the differences in each, and I wouldn't want to stop experiencing either of those.
Right. I mean, we were originally going to go out of Miami and do Mardi Gras because we had an offer for that one as well. But since, we need to fly everywhere we go, it was way cheaper for us to fly from Baltimore to Houston, and take what we did. We took a lift, to the cruise port that morning. It was way cheaper for us to do that than it was Miami.
Right.
Miami was, almost 3 times as much for airfare than it was to fly to
Do you
Houston.
have one tiny caveat before we forget, now that you bring that up? So I have been biding my time and nagging him and dropping hints and all the nagging things wives like to do because I have been wanting to get a bottle of Hennessy White because that's just what all I do is drink and sip Hennessy. That's kind of my favorite. And you can't get it at home.
Yeah, it's that travel
but
only alcohol.
Right. But between flying and not necessarily wanting to fly or not having any way to really get it home or different reasons, this was the first cruise where I had the opportunity to do that. And we had planned it ahead. We were all planning that I could get my bottle.
And we had been in Cozumel 3 weeks earlier and saw the price, and we knew we'd be back. So we were like, okay, we know it's going to be.
And it was pretty much the same price on the ship as it was in Cozumel this time versus last time. There was a difference in pricing. So got the bottle, yay. What we didn't know, and that was just our lack of awareness, and we do now. And what I feel like might have swayed my decision is that, go ahead, share the taxing.
Yeah, when you're cruising out of Texas or Norfolk, they
already have different.
They have different laws on,
about
your drink package is not going to be activated until the next day at 6 a.m. But you technically still will need to pay taxes on whatever alcohol you buy at a port or on the ship.
And they don't tell you that not because I'm saying they do it intentionally, but you're not told that when you buy it, because the cruise industry isn't responsible for telling you this is a Texas thing, but that gets delivered to you when the alcohol gets delivered. So.
And then they will give you instructions on how you can pay for that.
So
just
sailing out of Texas, I would consider that, and then factor in whether the price is really worth it, because in hindsight I would have chosen to get this out of a different port.
Yeah, it would have been cheaper on the last cruise because we cruised out of Tampa, and Florida doesn't have that same law.
Right.
But let's move on to basically the last one. Would you do this again? Would you do the Carnival Jubilee again?
Oh, absolutely. Maybe not the first day of it for us, but that isn't about the ship. So yes, absolutely.
Right. And I'm of the same, mind. I would absolutely do we can.
I think we are planning.
We're definitely
aspiring to do it again.
We have a lot of other cruises coming up. If it fits back into our schedule and have the opportunity, absolutely going again. I recommend it to anybody at this point. Our embarkation process was
Get the
smooth.
prices right.
You know, getting on the ship was smooth. Getting off the ship was smooth. With that being said, okay, this is what I promised.
Smooth is
Well, not smooth up to that point.
smooth. No, I'm not even talking about that part.
Okay.
Smooth. I'm not sure that I felt like, and I think it was the Port versus Carnival or Jubilee.
Okay.
I felt that I liked it and didn't like it. That table process.
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic for us. We got somebody who was amazing. She was quick. She was friendly. But I noticed how many other people were not necessarily having that experience. And when you're not at that counter, I'm sorry, people may not have any idea what I'm talking about. But you want to explain it? You're less.
Well, I understand why they do it.
But
I mean,
what are we talking about?
So
why?
when we're embarking or when you're checking in for the first time, they want to check your passports. They want to
just like everywhere.
Make sure all your information is correct. If you've already entered everything into the app, you've done all your pictures, and you know all that's good. You've put in your credit card information. It's a relatively quick process when you get to that table.
Right.
You know, they're going to make sure if you have any special requests that they have note of those special requests. But the lines, it's like going through an amusement park line.
Yeah.
Then they've got people going here, people going
and
there.
Still like hand paddles. And,
your time of day is different, and then they basically are raising the paddle, saying, "Okay, you're next," and then they have someone guiding you over there.
Yeah. They don't have full tech at the table, so I noticed with some people
everything's a tablet.
Yeah, when there was something beyond that question, then they had to have someone go to where there was actually a service desk area.
Yeah, and then you got to wait a little bit.
Yeah, which we didn't have that experience.
Our first one we did, but they had a counter full.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's what my hesitation and coming up to it when I realized we weren't just looking at people at tables chatting, and I realized this was actually the embarkation process. Remember I said what in the world, like, what is this about? And it looked like something got thrown together with a week's notice, but then as we were doing it, I realized, oh no, there's an intent behind this, and for us it worked beautifully.
Right.
Because we have everything. Travel agents know what they need ready. Not everybody does, and I noticed for people who were not buttoned up and ready to go, and maybe their attendant wasn't as versed, it seemed like it was kind of not so great. So
yeah,
but that might be Port versus the Jubilee. So
as we promised, okay, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that we had kind of a channel update. It's more of an announcement, so to speak. So next week we will be having a live 7 p.m. It's Friday next week. I'll put the date. It's already scheduled, so you can check that out on the channel.
Because we like to do it when a lot of people are at happy hours.
Yeah, true. Now, during the live, we are going to, towards the end of the live, we are going to talk about our, I'm just going to say it. We got escorted off the ship 1 hour after we were on the ship. All right. So if you want to hear this story.
And that was like 45 minutes of raw panic prior to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to hear the full story, please tune into the live next week. We are going to spill all the beans on it. It's something, it really can affect, it happened to us, it can happen to anybody. So
yeah.
Tune in next week. Hit that like, subscribe button. Hit that alarm bell so you know it's coming. And until next time, seize the day.
Monkey love, oh monkey love, travel. Pack your bags, let's hit the gravel.